Hi, Victoria Shakoor here. Thank you for joining me on this rise. I hope you and your family is doing well on this rise. So I come to you today to talk about how trauma gets locked into the body and the different parts of the body that is affected by different things, whether negative or positive, by different, not things, but different emotions, whether positive or negative. A lot of us are walking around with a lot of pain, a lot of anger. We feel sad. A lot of things have been coming up due to the pandemic and the shutdowns. And, we're still affected by those things. Even though it's been, 2 years or something like that, they're still pushing things out on us, showing traumatizations on TV, especially of copper tone people that look like me being shown, just horrific things happening to us. And that's traumatizing. It's traumatizing to a child that sees that as well as adults. And so I wanted to come on here and talk about that as well as forgiveness and what forgiveness is. I'm finding that a lot of people really just don't know what that is, and they think it's for the other person, and it's not. It's for you. So let me start there. Now I took some notes so that I stay on point because I don't want this video to be very long, but I do want it to be strong and to the point, okay? So forgiveness, the first thing I did was I looked up forgiveness. And it's releasing a feeling of anger, resentfulness, revenge towards the person who harmed you. And my definition and my understanding of forgiveness is not having an emotional connection to the person that harmed you, nor whatever it was, whatever the harm was. And how do you do that, Victoria? First of all, let me say that when a person harms you, our natural inclination is to get revenge, right? You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you back. Some of us will plot and plan. I used to be that person. I used to be that person that will plot and plan and plot to get you back. Yeah, I used to be that person, and I would get you back too, and it would not be pretty. You harm me because I've always been a good person, and if I was a good friend to you, and I know I was a good friend to you, and you can trust me, and all of that, because that's just my nature, and you wrong me, I just felt like you deserve, the harshest of punishments. But our natural inclination is to get revenge, right? And because we feel like we want revenge, we feel resentfulness towards that person. We're angry about what they did, the wrong that they did to us, even as a child. We just don't forget. And we don't forget it, and it gets locked in. You remember I told you in my last video, it gets locked into the subconscious. And it depends on the severity of the pain, of the abuse, of the traumatization. Remember, your subconscious mind's main job is to protect the body. And so it may cause you to even forget that happened to you, and yet it's playing out in your life because you don't remember. It's playing out in your life because you are snapping on people. This is the symptoms of it. Okay? So you're snapping on people, or you being more outrageously angry about something that doesn't require that much anger. And that's because whatever that abuse was, whatever it was that happened to you, sometimes a person can say something or do something that will trigger it, even though you don't remember. somebody could say something and they will trigger that particular trauma or abuse that you forgot about, but it's there. The subconscious mind communicates that trauma to the body. This is why I teach that your physical form is just as important as your spiritual self. Your physical self, they go hand in hand. So you have to be mindful of what's going on with you physically as well as spiritually. So forgiveness is when you're able to, drum roll, is when you're able to accept what happened. Let me look at you, and I'll say it again. It's when you're able to accept what happened. When you accept whatever it was that happened to you, you're able to release it because it happened. You can't take it back. Even if you was able to exact revenge on the person, that incident still happened, right? If it happened to you as a child, that person may not be alive anymore, or he may be. My abuser is no longer alive, been dead for some years. So it's being able to say, okay, you know, this person did that to me, or, you know, that teacher embarrassed me in class. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, a lot of people are experiencing these memories are coming back. And you're starting to remember what happened to you, but you're still not able to connect how that's affecting you physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, first off is know that it does affect you physically. It affects you physically. It affects you mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm thinking so fast, the uploads are coming too. When you are affected physically, it could show up as different dis-eases in the body, different conditions, okay, in the body. It can be diabetes, it could be high blood pressure, you know, it could be cancer, because you haven't released it and you're holding on to anger. You're holding that. Okay, hear me on this, because it's time for you to heal. It's time for you to heal right now, and this is the perfect time for healing right now. Some of you are our spiritual warriors, and we need you right now, and so we need you to heal. There's certain exercises that you can do, certain exercises that I take people through that enlist me to assist them, that will release those traumas and pains out of the body as well. There's different modalities that you can do, and I incorporate a lot of them. So one of them is the body. The subconscious mind communicates that. It gets locked in your subconscious. The subconscious mind communicates that to the body. And so now it's protecting you. It may have caused you to forget, or you may remember, okay? And because you remember, you're feeling helpless. There's nothing you can do about it. There is. The first thing you want to do is heal from it. And that is accept that it happened. Once you accept fully, and you will know, because you'll feel the release. You'll feel it. This is what I did. I accepted that happened. Because I used to ask myself, why did it happen to me? Why me? Why me? And Creator Source said, because it happened to you. If I asked that person why, whatever they told me, it wasn't going to change how I felt. It wasn't going to change what happened. Right? So I had to, so Creative Source was like, because it happened to you. And when that came to me as an upload, I thought, wow, that's true, because it happened to me. If I knew why, I still gotta, it's affecting me. You see what I'm saying? So I still gotta get past it. So how do I get past this? How do I heal from it? And it took a lot of years, y'all. A lot of years. And that's why the process and the hack and the steps that I did, and I created these, went back and created these, and that's what I help you with, and I take you through them same steps because it works, and I still practice them today. So anyway, so your body, your okay, so we said physical, right? Could be some kind of dis-ease in the body. Mentally, you're constantly thinking why. You may not remember, but you're being triggered. You're feeling depressed and you don't know why. You know that you're supposed to do something and you're unable to move forward and you don't know why. You're attracting the wrong person in your life, but you know deep down inside, this person is not right for me. Why can't I attract the right person in my life? See? That's how it's coming up mentally and emotionally. All right? And then spiritually, it's coming up, you're feeling resentful. You're walking around just angry all the time. You don't believe in nothing. Okay? And some other symptoms. I'm not going to go through all of that. When you are traumatized and abused, and it goes into your subconscious, I talk about that a lot. When you're able to accept it and release it, you no longer have the emotional connection to the pain, the hurt, the guilt, the shame, or any of that. That's why I can talk about it now with no emotion. There were years, first of all, there were years that I even forgot about the abuse. Until I had a daughter, and once my daughter became the same age that I was when I was abused, the memories, it triggered the memories. You see? Well, once I was able to accept that happened, and then I was able to release it, doing my inner work, okay, doing the work with help, I no longer had the connection. And the same with you, you will no longer have the connection. You won't have the emotional connection to it anymore. And you will know it because you will feel it. You'll just feel like you'll be able to talk about it and you won't have no feelings towards it, whatsoever, to be like anything else. All right? And this is because we feel everything in the body. You feel everything in the body. In the body. You do. You feel, for example, the sun. You feel the sun, right? Feel the warmth of the sun. It's beautiful out today. I'm in my favorite spot. Let me show you. I always gotta show you my favorite spot. It's so serene here. It's just so wonderful here. And the sun is up. I'm gonna go sun gaze once I'm done with this. You feel the air. You don't see the air, but you feel it, right? So you feel everything in the body. You feel it. Right? You feel it. And you feel the air. I'm reading my notes so I can stay on point. You feel a touch, right? When somebody touch you, if they touch you with the spirituality of love, right? The emotion of love, and they like you, it feels warm to you, it feels good. So you're feeling it spiritually and in the body, and also mentally. All three of the Trinity you are. You feel it, right? It's validating, comforting, you know? So we always feel things. So the trauma that's locked into the body, you can be rid of it. Okay. One of the things that you can do is very simple, and if you watch my other video, I did a breathing exercise that helps, and that works wonders. So that's one way you can do it, is the breathing exercises. There's other exercises in the body that you can do. You can start to clap for yourself. Every time you do something that you know you're supposed to do, clap. You'd be so surprised how powerful that is. Look at me already. You know, put on some good music. Put on some good music. Sway your hips back and forth, back and forth. You know that releases trauma out the body? Yeah, something as simple as that. All these things are simple. And there are other exercises I may show you one day, I don't know. But should you enlist me to assist you and guide you on releasing these traumas from your body, from your spirit, and from your mind emotionally, so that you become the thriving person that you know deep down inside you are, then I go into more in-depth exercises that you can do. So you can always let me know. All of my information will be at the bottom of the video if you choose to. The greatest benefit to forgiving someone or releasing the emotional attachment to the trauma, that's what forgiveness really is. It's for you. And the greatest benefit is that you start to live now. You start to live now. You become focused on what it is that you desire for your life. You're no longer asking why. That happened to me. You're no longer reliving that in your mind. It's gone. Just like that. Poof, it's gone. For some of you, it may take a little while because you've been living in it for a while. Or maybe the trauma was like really traumatic. So it may take a while to get to that point. Be patient with yourself. But the benefit is you start living now. And if you watch the video I did a couple days ago, the power is in the now. Not in the future, not in the past. Definitely not in the past. The kicker is you're always creating the past, and you're always moving into the future, even though they don't exist, because all you have is now. So you're moving into your choice, and once that happens, yeah, I already said that. You no longer have the emotional attachment, neglect, trauma, pain, none of that. None of that. And remembering it is not a problem, because you don't have any emotional attachment to it. Can't say that enough. Now, saying the word remember, I looked it up. I looked up remember. And remember is a member of body part or organ or person or part of a group. So when you are remembering, because means to start anew again. It means to start anew again. So when you remember, when you start to remember the trauma that is happening to you, that's your you're remembering it because it is coming up for you to release it, for you to forgive that happened to you and release it. You're becoming anew again. You see? And so now all your member parts in your body are now remembering because you were broken up, because that happened to you. You were in pieces. Okay? So I printed this out to show you the different parts of the body that can be affected. I hope you can see this. It might be upside down. You guys looking at it might be upside down. But this is your lungs. Your lungs, when you're depressed and grieving and feeling grief and all of that, that's affecting your lungs. So some of you might be feeling like you can't breathe. You feeling depressed, you feeling sad, defeated, you can't breathe. You know? Fear is related to your kidneys, your ears, and your bladder. Anger is related to your liver, your eyes, and your gallbladder. Anger. It's related to your liver, your eyes, your gallbladder. Now, at the same time, generosity is related to your liver, eyes, and gallbladder as well. You know how you can be angry and then you go do something generous and kind to someone else and it just dissolves the anger right there. Generosity. Courage also affects the lungs as well, and your large intestines and the skin. See that? Anxiety is the stomach, spleen, and pancreas, and also trust. See, everything has its opposite. Everything does. We live in the three-dimensional world where everything has its opposites. And then the heart, small intestines, is impatience, and it's also love. That's why they always say, you know, hearts. Our heart is not even shaped like that, first of all. How does it go? Like, how does they do that? You know, with your heart or whatever. Our heart is not even shaped like that. This is what your heart look like. Ain't nothing like that, you know. But impatience, if you're impatient, it's affecting your heart. And love affects your heart. Yeah. So I wanted to share that with you so that you know the different body parts, because your physical is just as important as your spiritual. And these things are your spiritual or emotional part of you that is affecting these different organs. So now they're out of harmony. When you're holding on to that anger, pain, hurt, guilt, shame, your organs are out of harmony. This is just a few that I found that I can print out. Now, scientists and spiritualists are now, I wouldn't say are now, but they're coming to terms with sound vibration. That's why I said play some music. Music always do it for me. Music is very spiritual, y'all. You can put on some music and it'll start to release those traumas out of you, that anger. Even if you don't remember it, it'll start to decrease it. Clapping, remember that. So music, which is sound, or it don't have to be music, just something sound that really makes your soul feel good, that resonates with you, that's going to start to release it. Clapping your hands, smiling at someone, doing something generous, and that communication to yourself. So that's what I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about, and how to release those traumas from your body. There are different exercises that you can do. Okay, breathing, remember that one? So you can just breathe deeply, and that will release it. All right, so that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you for joining me. You can always go on my website and join my 1-hour webinar workshop where I go in depth about the Trinity of your consciousness and some more things to kickstart you to thriving, decreasing a lot of that pain and hurt. There's steps that I did and things that I learned that helped me on my path. And my job is now to assist you on yours. And I will see you next time, okay? I'm gonna go sun gaze. Sun is going down. I'll talk to y'all later. I love you because I'm overflowing with love for myself. So it can only overflow to you. See you.